Hello guys, Omni here, doing something I'm not sure if I'm going to make a thing or not, but we're going to talk about it anyway. This might be something I'm just going to talk about here this one time at least, and then do majority of the reactions on Stardust. So I have a link to that, my Stardust account, on the description of this video, pretty much of every video. Anything I don't cover here on the channel, I do some sort of reaction or quick review there. It's free to sign up and download and set up, and you can even post your own reviews, so feel free to do that. But we're going to be talking about the return to the second half of this season of The Walking Dead. Um, at this point, I gotta say, like, it has gotten better. I'll give it that. The show for a little while has become more of a sunk cost fallacy for me, in which I've devoted so much time for it in the past up until now. I've watched it pretty much since the very beginning, that I feel like I have to see this through. And I have to admit, it has improved. It had a really big divot in quality there for a little while as far as storytelling, plots, characters, and all that stuff, but it has gotten a little bit better. It has very much so gotten better. I don't know if it's a good place to start if you're not watching it currently. I don't know if it's worth it at that point, but for anybody still watching it, I think it has at least improved. And we came back tonight's episode, and we're going to talk a little bit about spoilers of what happened and just kind of what I thought about going into it. A lot of this episode, pretty much the entire episode, aside from the moments in the Whisperer camp, was pretty much just in the cave where we left the group at the end of the mid-season finale. Um, just them feeling through the cave. That whole setup was really cool. Especially the opening area where they were stuck initially at the beginning. Aside from the video game-esque like platforming that they had to do to get through there, I was like, that's very unnaturally likely that would be lined up just to get over there. Don't know, just a little nitpick. I thought it was funny and cool though, how they got across that at least, and just, I'm always a sucker for being trapped with a giant swarm of endless zombies. They get through that. I like the trudging, the exploration of the caves, the way they utilize different tools and things they have on them, like the matches, to try to find their way, the paths out. Um, and then they had me on the line for a second. I thought we were going to lose Jerry for a hot minute. I was like, you cannot take out the big dude just for being big and getting stuck in a passage he can't fit through because he's too big. He's the big guy. And they had me for a minute. I thought they were going to take my Jerry away, but Jerry got out. Jerry got through. He just had to take off some of his armor, his gears, whatever, and he got out. All right, pass. We win. But when they get towards the end, when they're finally getting towards the exit, and then more whispers show up in the cave, and Connie and Magna go back, and of course and throughout, while everybody's trying to get out this final passageway, like Jerry, of course, I don't think I'm not I at this point, in some bits of this, it just gets a little ridiculous and comical, I think. In some ways, I like it. It does build tension, but like, I gotta think, like, I don't, just because he's a big dude and he is strong and whatnot, I just don't think he could himself add enough weight to keep an entire cave from collapsing. It's just as ridiculous as in the Fast Furious movies, Dom stomping his foot on a parking garage that is falling apart just to cause it to collapse with his own foot stomp. It's just a little wonky, a little nitpick, little wonky, but I gotta say, he holds it up long enough for pretty much everybody except for Connie and Magna to get out, and then he slides out because they tell him to go. There's a, you gotta leave us behind or whatever, and there was this box of dynamite that they found just a moment ago down there as well that they were like, well, can we do anything with this? And somehow that just explodes. Does dynamite do that without a spark, an ignition? Is it that volatile? I don't know. I've never lit or thrown a stick of dynamite. I have messed with explosives, but I have not messed around with sticks of dynamite, but I was under the impression that you needed to have a spark for those to explode. And I didn't see one. I didn't see anybody hit it with one. But the Whisperers snuck up on Connie and Magna and whatever, and some of the rocks crumbled when Jerry let go of the magical beam that was saving everybody and holding it up. And then it set off the dynamite, setting up an explosion and a cave-in that closed off the group from them. I don't know. because we didn't see it, I'm willing to bet that the shock value is not there. They're alive. 100%. Calling it right now. Uh, you know, place your bets. Place your bets right now. I think they're alive. And the only other thing that I think is worth talking about in this episode was literally the Negan and Alpha stuff. Now, I know like something similar to this happens in the comics. He gets close and in with Alpha and then takes advantage of that. And I won't spoil it if you haven't read the comics of what happens there, but it's pretty interesting. I like how it plays out. But we'll see if they go this route. But they definitely take it an extra mile to 11 with this one by having them completely bang. Uncomfortable. It was weird. Not sure. I definitely know how I felt about it. I did not like it. It was uncomfortable. It was the most terrifying thing I've seen in the show by far. And then, but Negan sowing the seeds of paranoia and betrayal with Gamma, even though we already kind of know that she's been leaning that way anyway. Really, that's it. Carol's guilt is ever growing at this point. I think peak, especially now because she's the one that got them all in this mess, and now not only getting them in danger, putting their entire settlements in danger by going after Alpha, she also now has the guilt of thinking at least that they lost Connie and Magna. So she's having a breakdown. Daryl's just not having it. Carol, I don't know. I know like you go through so much grief and so much pain losing a child or somebody you think of as your child. But there's got to be some level of sense to it, and I just don't know because she's putting everyone's lives on the line for it. I don't know how much longer I can really kind of handle her and this crap. Hopefully she gets on track, and hopefully this is maybe a wake up call. But we'll see. I don't know. Like I said, that's about all I have to say about this episode. At least our return from the mid-season finale, the mid-season premiere. For the second half of the season. So again, I don't know if I'm going to do another one of these if I'm afterwards for the next episode, but if this does well, if people watch it, if people like it, sure, why not? Sundays are so ramped up with shows that I cover and watch. So some of these might not be immediately after the episode or the next day because I cover live reaction highlights for Doctor Who on Sunday. And then we got Better Call Saul that just started up as well, which I need to still do. I haven't watched that yet. And then I also cover all the Arrowverse DC TV shows on CW. So that's also Supergirl and Batwoman that night on Sunday. So Sunday's a packed night. And then I just kind of spread it out through the week. So if you guys want to keep up with this, if you want me to keep doing this for The Walking Dead, feel free to share that enthusiasm down in the comments. Give it a like, a subscribe if you would like. Or you can just follow me on Stardust because I keep up with pretty much every show I watch that I don't necessarily cover here, movies I see that I don't necessarily make a video review for, all kinds of stuff. Trailers that I don't have the time to put up on here. I try to post a lot of stuff to the Stardust app at least to give my quick opinions on a lot of different things. So check that out. Follow me there. And yeah, that's it for this. Maybe we'll catch you next time in the next episode. Who knows? We'll see. But thank you all for stopping in and tuning in. I appreciate you guys, and I will catch you guys next time in the next video, whatever that might be. Take care.